1. The Eisenhower's 50 minutes, 390 to downtown, 32 from Wolf. Outbound 43 minutes to 390. Northbound I-55, delays start at 126, and it's an hour and 9 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Inbound Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 25 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishopford 50. Northbound Tri-State, it's heavy. Southwest Highway to Balmoral, it's slow going at all the tollways. That's traffic. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, windy, frigid, blowing, snow, cloudy. 1 to 2 more inches expected, high of 19 today, bitter cold overnight, low 0. Frigid but sunny tomorrow, a high only of 17. It's 18 at O'Hare, 22 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Dan and Amy Chicago's Morning Answer program. See what I did there? I'm going to match it up. Coming to you live from Signature Bank in Rosemont, the world headquarters of Signature Bank. This is our 5th annual Signature Bank business tour. I've been correct. I was overshooting.
Yeah,
I thought
you said
last
12
year I
and then
undershot.
20th, but it's our 5th.
This is our 5th annual Signature Bank business tour that we're launching today. So we're starting here at Signature Bank, and it's like a Bloomberg rally. You have all these people that have to stand and clap for Kevin Bastuga, the co-founder, who joins us now. Kevin, thanks so much for hosting us and joining us on the program. Appreciate it.
Thanks to you guys for being here.
And
Appreciate
I'm
the
overwhelmed with this new world headquarters that you have here in Rosemont. I mean, the decorative motif, I heard you are responsible for this.
I am not. There's designers and smarter people like Julie Simon that are more responsible for that. But it's turned out really well. We needed more space. We were expanding. We're in another building in Rosemont, and that space was not available. So we were quite cramped in there, and we took about 8,000 or 9,000 more square feet here. Soon to take some more on this floor at the end of the year.
So you could own the world.
And you got easy access to the outlet mall
Soon to
here.
be Galactic headquarters.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could do corporate outings at that parachute, that indoor parachuting
Yeah.
deal, right?
Skydive.
This is fun.
Yeah, the skydive.
Yeah, you
Signing a lot of waivers.
I mean, it's like bankers, 2 o'clock, you knock off, you go take in a movie right here.
Right,
So,
right.
I mean, this is great. And
Sure.
by the way, we apologize for having to have you get up so early and be in the office at this ungodly hour.
Yeah,
I know,
I mean,
this is unusual for you.
There's a lot of logistical
Yeah.
planning that went into that.
We went to the same high school. Obviously, I'm more recognized than Kevin is. But I mean, you recall, I mean, you didn't show up to high school until 10, 11 o'clock.
Well, I mean,
How'd you get out of that? Would you have study hall at the
adolescent, teenage
first hour?
years, you need your rest.
Right.
So Signature Bank, business bank focused on Chicagoland businesses. This is like really an incredible success story. Starting a bank, no easy thing in this regulatory environment. You guys started, what, a dozen years ago?
2006.
Yeah, so 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And the success that you've had in serving the mid-size corporate customer in this market.
Correct. I mean, that's been the focus since day one is sort of to serve this gap that we saw in the market as the larger banks have gotten bigger. We've always focused and really enjoyed on serving these owner-operator, locally owned, locally run companies, of which there are a lot of in the Chicago area, as you know. A lot of old family kind of success stories and businesses that have changed hands and plant managers purchasing companies. And so we've seen a lot of stories over the years, and we enjoy this market.
So how do you help, say, if a small business wants to expand, what do you offer them?
So we usually sit down with them and talk to them about what their plan is and why they want to expand, whether that's a business reason, a physical reason. We obviously, being bankers, we're a little more conservative than sort of normal business operators, but we like to add value with our clients by walking them through the process, identifying the risks of those big decisions.
Yeah, because don't most small businesses fail within the first few years?
Most do, right?
Yeah.
Most do. But those opportunities that come about, they don't come about very often for those firms. And if it's a small manufacturing firm in, say, Elk Grove Village or somewhere down south, maybe taking on a new client or a new project or putting out a new product requires expansion in the form of new equipment or a physical expansion to their facility. And those decisions need to be well thought out and well considered as to the risks, because especially for these family-owned companies, I mean, this is a sort of legacy company, and they're putting a lot of their business at risk by doing so. So we try to be methodical about that and try to be as supportive as possible. And as a bank, we love to finance growth. Companies.
Yeah, talk about financing growth in northeastern Illinois over the last 3 years. Just compare and contrast maybe what the last 3 years have been to the 3 or 4 years prior.
Yeah, it's really. I think we talked about this last year. It's been a strange 5 or 6 years. You've had this sort of prolonged economic cycle where it seems like there's just nothing that is going to derail the economic train anytime soon. And then we're in the unique spot of doing business in Illinois, which is the political climate and the economic climate is trending the other way. So we field questions from ownership of companies all the time as to what is our insight into that climate. Owners are.
Should I come back from Naples? Right, those kind of questions.
Well, exactly. And there's companies that have moved to Indiana. There's companies that have moved to Wisconsin.
Well, what's your pitch to try to get them to stay here?
What we try to pitch them is what's best for them.
Okay.
We really rely heavily on our electronic platform in terms of serving our customers. So whether they're here, Wisconsin, Indiana, Florida, it doesn't matter to us. Wherever they are, we're going to visit them. And,
right, you're not bounded by the
right.
corporate boundaries
No.
of Illinois. You go where your clients go.
Correct.
So they move
We
across
follow
the
our
border to
clients.
Northwest
You
Indiana.
still keep
then
their
you're
business. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
And so how much of that migration here, in the contiguous states, have you seen to Northwest Indiana, to Wisconsin, perhaps even Iowa, Michigan, Missouri, where people are, because that's a huge decision, particularly for some of these multi-generational businesses that have a lot of sunk costs in this state, to say our long-term play is going to be somewhere else, and we need you to help us make financial sense.
Yeah. So when companies look at that, all of that sounds good until you actually look at the execution of it, and you look at relocating a business, say from pick a suburb, South Holland to somewhere in Northwest Indiana, employees' lives get uprooted, right? And there are folks that are not going to go
Right.
to the new location. On the backdrop of that, you've got a very, very, very tight employment market. So that's another restriction. We've seen companies move to Wisconsin and then have a really hard time getting labor to fill their plant. And we've seen people kind of jump around from company to company for $1 more an hour, which, God bless them, they should be able to. But companies have expanded out there and then not been able to fill their plant and reach their production capacity. So it's just a really unique sort of combination of factors, both nationally and locally, that we've seen over the last 5 or 6 years.
And when you think about the future for Signature Bank, we've had other success stories in this region. Wintrust is a notable example of that.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, is that the plan for Signature Bank, to continue to grow your footprint, not just in terms of clientele, but also regionally and nationally?
Possibly. The fact of the matter is there's so much business here in Chicago, in the Chicago area, in Illinois, in the Midwest. As we see opportunities to follow clients to other geographies, we're certainly open to that. Really competitively, though, in the market, our opportunity exists in our ability to serve the market that we continue to serve as the Wintrust of the world get bigger.
Contrasting.
We've got a great relationship with Wintrust. They're a great bank.
Right.
I think the last I checked, they're a $35 billion institution. Our model differs a little bit in that we're a smaller bank. We'll cross $1 billion in assets this year, but we like to throw as much talent at each relationship as we can. And with our size and our model, we can do that right now.
So contrast the sort of the model that you're describing with the big banks the Bank of Americas, for example?
Sure. What we try to do when we're banking a company is the company will have an assigned account officer, and that will be the day-to-day relationship manager. But then we also like to assign a senior principal at the bank to each account. It's sort of on the basis of owners like to deal with owners, ultimately. And so it's not to sort of have a dual relationship. It's just to have another contact of a decision maker, because that's how we position ourselves, is that we're locally owned, the decision-making is local, the response time is quick. And you know, we think that's really a big competitive advantage. So it's one thing that in our strategy that we really have to honor as time goes on and as we get bigger.
You know, I know you consider yourself a bit of an intellectual.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Once a year in February for about 15 minutes, maybe 10.
so I mean, no, I just I ask because a man of letters, U of I graduate. So I mean, let's put this as. So
where are you going with this?
Right.
If you could,
What's the word of the day?
If you could compare and or contrast. Sean Rosenberg's theory that we're on the cusp of the end of democracy with Francis Fukuyama's end of history argument from 30 years ago. I'd just like to hear your perspective on that. And
you have 30 seconds to respond.
Not just as a financier, but as a Renaissance man and a public intellectual.
I'd like to know at what time of day you came up with that question, and then actually Googled it so that you could pronounce both of those.
I just came up with it now, actually, because
10 seconds to respond.
Because I'm
a
a jerk, and I like to try to embarrass
What was
people.
he like in high school?
Same.
What do you mean?
Same, but younger.
Asking the same question
Yeah.
through the hallways,
Yeah.
going up to random people and
Same.
saying,
Kind of, really smart, a little bit grouchy.
Slightly
opinionated.
Good grouch.
Oh.
Good grouchy. Good
Right,
grouchy.
right.
Good
Standards
grouchy.
is what
Right.
I mean.
Did you ever see him rap or not rap? Breakdance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wear parachute
For
pants
sure.
and did he
For
really
sure.
wear parachute pants?
Yeah.
Good
that was
look.
the White Hammer.
Right.
Oh my god.
So
White
and you're by the way, let's get a little plug in for alma mater here, Bennett
Oh
Academy.
yeah, Bennett
Yes.
Academy. That's right.
The
yes.
best high school in the state. I mean, if you're interested in education. I don't know what they do at Amundsen, but with respect to you're continuing the tradition, so I want you to give a plug in for Bennett because you got kids at Bennett.
Oh,
I do.
you do.
My sophomore girl, my oldest, is there. I've got 3 younger ones that go to St. Joseph Catholic School in Downers Grove, and she's loved her experience there. It's been
Are
great.
they all going to go to Bennett now?
We'll see. It'll be up to each one of them, and it's a pretty.
Give one to one. You must like that one the best.
Well,
the one that goes to Bennett.
it's a tougher
Dad's
commute
favorite.
from Scottsdale.
Oh yeah.
Right,
Right,
Ohio.
exactly.
Yeah, so you got to keep that in mind.
Naples.
Kevin Bastuga, co-founder of Signature Bank, executive vice president of Signature Bank, and thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your continued success.
Thank
Good
you
luck
both.
with continued success at Signature Bank. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Signature Bank in Rosemont. We're launching our Signature Bank business tour this week.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
What would you do if you knew there was a place to learn step-by-step strategies designed to help you make the right moves inside the financial markets? A place to develop skills that can help you generate income and build confidence toward your retirement goals. At Online Trading Academy, we know there's an investor in all of us, and we know how to teach people just like you the skills and knowledge that could empower you to take better control of your financial future. Start by taking our free introductory class at a location near you. Learn about the biggest mistakes investors make and how you can learn to avoid them. Plus, you'll learn strategies that could help you make your money work harder for you. For over 20 years, Online Trading Academy has been teaching students skills designed to help them learn to invest with the confidence of the pros.
Call 844-778-7132 for 2 free tickets to a class in your area and receive our Professional Insiders Kit with lessons from our top instructors just for attending. That's 844-778-7132. 844-778-7132 or visit otaclass.com.
Hey, we're just a month into 2020. It seems like everyone is getting sick, from the common cold to the flu, and don't get me started on that coronavirus. And you know how you can stay healthy this year? Boost your immune system, and you can do that by sleeping well, but also eating well. And that means getting enough fruits and veggies, which I know you're not doing on your own. Be honest with yourself. You should be taking Balance of Nature. Just 6 capsules of Balance of Nature. You're getting 10 servings of 31 different fruits and veggies. No preservatives, no dyes, no GMO, all natural. And you hear stories right here about how people's lives have changed by taking